welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. Shout out to our sponsors. This is one of my favorite clothing brands. Like you see me wearing it all the time. Defend Hawaii. Go shout out Chris Meheula. He's the operations manager there. You go to No One at Windward Mall. They sell all Defend Hawaii stuff. Also go on their website, defendhawaii.com. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Okay, next up, I have IREP Detail Supply. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center. Go see Kaika. They have anything you need if you want to pimp your car out, washes, wax, whatever, vacuums. He has like buffers and polishes. If you have that film over your headlights, I just had that on my truck. So I had to get that off so I could pass safety check. Go check him out. IREP Detail Supply. You go to irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, 15% off your entire purchase order. Go check them out. Last, we have Hawai'i Candy Factory. And I know you guys seen these guys because they're everywhere. If you've seen their little packets of noms, those things are amazing. It's like lihimui gushers. They have nerds, candy belts, and they come in those little pouches, says noms on it. You see them everywhere. Go check them out. They have the best candies and snacks, in my opinion. Go to hawaiicandyfactory.com. You'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order if you use promo code ATBPOD. All right. Welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. This is episode 74. So this week I have radio talent and MC for multiple concerts. Everybody knows him as Big Koa. What's up, man?
Brr, 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 brr. Gotta get the official air horns in there, huh?
Bruh, you're getting too big. I know this is a Zoom call, but we need Zoom out, I think, for you.
I thought I was supposed to have the camera right to my face, huh? Well, actually, I heard the camera adds 10 pounds. So when I found out I was doing this, I went and lost 10 pounds. So at least I look normal.
But you get like 10 pounds of muscle, huh?
Well, actually, we're on the way down, man. We're on the way down, trying to lose some size.
But you've been taking your health and fitness kind of serious. You're telling me at Happa's if can like trying to change up your lifestyle.
I did, man. I had to get big to fill into the Big Koa name, because when I got the Big Koa name many years ago, back when I first met you, I was kind of on the skinny side, a little bit skinny Koa. So yeah, man, I got big, being big for a long time, both lifting weights and not lifting weights. But I don't know, recently, man, I just felt like thinning out would be good for me, man. Easy on the back, easy on the knees. So recently started dieting, getting back into the gym. As of this morning, let's see what I started off at 315, down to a 267 as of this morning.
Wow, good for you, bruh. That's a huge difference.
It is, man. And my knees thank me for it, and so does my lower back. So yeah, definitely a big difference.
Oh yeah, and also like your health, and yeah, I guess like you got to change up some clothes then, if you lose that much weight.
Oh yeah, man. I stay busting out my old like double X. Honey girl, grab me that double X shirt I had when I was in elementary school.
Oh, bust the old school Cavricis.
The Stussies, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely dropped some pounds over the last few months. It feels good, man. Like health wise, I feel great. Especially when you can look down and you got a view.
Oh yeah.
What I mean? It's like, yeah, no more the mountain peak anymore, huh?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
so
understand, dude. Getting older, like I would say maybe like the last 2-3 years.
yeah.
Oh, you just gotta warm up just for go bathroom at night or get out of bed in the morning, bro. It becomes like it's really taking a change. I guess life is changing up a little bit. Got to get way more healthier.
Well, that's what it is, man. And then you see other guys out there, and they're entering their 40s or their 50s, and they look better than we was when we was 20. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, man, what are you doing? And you find out these diet plans, or I was watching somebody else talking on like this podcast I was watching. They said if you're entering your 50s, we're not there yet, but
No,
if
no,
you're
no.
entering your 50s and you're not working out, you're just getting old.
Yeah. This year, well, I've been taking my health pretty serious, but I think this year I gotta start buckling down on the diet part. I work out and stuff, but oh man, those late night munchies and the
Yeah, man.
after drinking nights, bro, you just pound everything in the fridge, and the next morning it's like all that work you did in the gym just went to that.
Yeah. So, you know, as many years as I was lifting and all of that, I never ever paid attention to the diet part of it. And I would hear guys say all the time, like, "Oh, the only way you'll ever get a six pack, or the only way you'll ever get where you want to be, is the diet." And I was always like, Psh, "I'm just gonna lift more weights, you know. I'm just gonna stay in the gym longer." And and honestly, just recently, this is the first time I actually started dialing in on the diet, and that's where that significant weight loss came from, you know, that transition.
Oh,
Not only did I just lose fat, I know I'm losing muscle too, but I'm okay with that because that's where a lot of the weight comes from too. And I
yeah.
can always switch it up and attempt to put back on the muscle. But for me, my overall like goal was just kind of bring my weight down. Like walking around with 315 pounds on you every day, it becomes a chore in itself, you know.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why everybody's always like, "Oh, bro, those calves look huge, bro." And I don't train legs. I don't tell nobody, but that's from me carrying around 315 all day. So it's like I just wanted to bring the weight down, and recently the diet. That's what it's been, man. Like I was talking to you at Hoppa's thing, and I started weighing my food, bro.
Oh,
Like,
like macros and all that.
yeah, man, because in the beginning I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just like, okay, I just not going to eat rice this morning, and I just going to eat
Mm.
egg whites, and I'm just going to drink a shake and do this. And then after like the first couple of weeks of that, I was like, oh, I noticed my arms getting smaller and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know how much protein I'm intaking.
Oh,
So and what I did was I found this, I think it's like called like macros for idiots or something like that on the app store. And I just downloaded it because I just wanted to see, all right, what am I actually intaking throughout the day? And then at the end of one of my days, it's like I only ate like 60 grams of protein. I only had, you know, maybe 1,200 calories,
oh
and that's
wow.
all I had. And yeah, I was stoked because I was dropping all this weight right away, but I'm like, that's not healthy. So at least this way, I'm able to kind of keep track throughout the day and get okay, 3 servings, 9 tablespoons of egg whites in the morning gets me X amount of protein. 1 scoop of olive oil gets me 14 grams of fat. You know, 2 21 grain breads gets me 10 grams. So it's like that kind
Oh
of
wow.
dialing
So you
in.
you you went full science with this thing, and kind of following a regiment, not just bro
Yeah, man.
science.
You know, it's like that late night munchies, like you were talking about, man. Like the chips is my Achilles heel. I always had a bag of chips around the house, and you don't realize like how fast that stuff adds up when you bust open a bag and you just watching one show and you just
Oh
mop it.
yeah.
So now it's like I'll actually look and I'll weigh up 1 ounce of Doritos or 2 ounces of Doritos, and then I'll put it in and be like, is that going to put me over my carb limit today?
Wow, you okay. So this app is really kind of keeping you disciplined.
Yeah, it keeps me accountable, you know, for what I'm doing, all the way down to the sauce, my man. I'm telling you, like,
Oh,
even so much is sauce. Like, how much is 1 ounce of Chick-fil-A sauce? You know, it's like, you know, you don't notice that when you're eating chicken nuggets or something, you
oh
know, you
yeah.
just, or buttermilk sauce at
Oh yeah.
Jack's, bumping 10 of them with one taco. It's like, it's definitely a game changer when you start looking into it, but that's really where my results came from, man. It's really the diet in combination with doing some exercise and lifting.
Oh, that's super cool. I think too, like when you start gaining results, that's a good motivator. Once you start seeing a weight drop off, it's like, oh, what I'm doing is working. I'm gonna keep it going because when you see the results, it kind of gets you excited and then makes you feel like you're on the right track. I know that's happens to me. Like if I'm working out and oh, I can press a little bit more if I do this and do that, then oh, the results kind of make you motivated. And bro, losing weight is like a freaking chore, bro. It's
Oh yeah, it is.
definitely a full-time job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been feeling vulnerable lately. You know, it's like before I was like, yeah, I'm a lion, man. You know, I'm a big bear or something. And now I'm just like, when somebody's like, oh, bro, you look good. The first thing I think of is my head, frickly. What? I look skinny. You know, so it plays on the psyche a little bit, but it's all right, man. I'm playing with it, and I'm gonna see where it goes. And who knows? My goal weight was to get from 315 to 285. I hit that. I went beyond that, you know, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to 275. Hit that. Now I'm like,
Oh,
might go to 265. I don't know, where do I stop? You know, at what point do I want to just stop and then go, okay, let's put back on some muscle again. Let's get back to 285 and see.
where are you working out at? I know I used to see you in Kaneohe at the 24s, but
I've been going to UFC gym. I scooped up an endorsement with them, so they've been taking care of
okay.
me. And I usually go at some weird hours of the night. You know, it's like when there's like one person in there, and then that
Oh,
way I get full access to the whole gym. I don't gotta wait because you know in the gym, a lot of these guys, man, they'll go in there and they sit around on their phone, man. And I'm sorry if
bruh.
anybody's watching this right now.
Yo,
Pet peeve, bro, pet peeve of mine. Yeah,
yo,
there's so many machines and so many benches. And if you're gonna sit there for 30 minutes playing on your phone or staring at your phone, you know what I mean? When literally I can knock out my whole 4 or 5 set workout in 10
yo.
minutes, or 8 minutes or whatever. It's like, hey, beat it. You know, go in the locker
That's
room.
that's definitely my pet peeve. And now, bro, these young kids and bruh, they get full on Instagram photo shoots at the gym, and
Oh yeah.
oh, I lose it, bruh. Like move or what? You powered that.
It's funny because you get these new young boys coming in and they'll be over there like grabbing some dumbbells, right? And they're over there with the 45-pound dumbbells and they're making all kind of noise, bro. Just blah, blah. And then they drop them and they're like, yeah. And then they start flexing in front of the mirror, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then I'll literally walk over there and grab the 45 and start curling them or something, you know, making no noise at all,
So
right?
kind of just twisting on your warming up your wrist or something.
That's it, man. But I see a lot of that in the gym, man. I guess
Yeah.
it's what's expected nowadays with social media and having to put everything on blast.
Oh,
You know,
bruh. Like half the time I thinking like, bruh, if you guys put the amount of effort into working out that you guys do, try and film yourself work out, you might have actually something to freaking post because you can look a little better. You know what I mean?
yeah. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're one of those that camps on machines or benches
Yeah,
and plays on your phone, just put it away, man. Put it
yeah.
away.
I
Yeah,
just launched a PSA on my Instagram for all these new year, new me
I
people.
saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
number one was, bro, you guys gotta wear deodorant because oh, get some freaky guys in there that just like, brah, like, do you not smell you? Like everybody else can.
Straight onion sauce, cuz you know what I mean? The bunion onion.
Yo, that and the freaking phone, and then, bruh, if you gonna just stick with it for a month and you taking up all this space and I gotta wait, bruh, just don't even come already. You
Yeah,
know what I
don't
mean?
even come. Go take
Yeah,
up some hot yoga or something, man. Get out of
yeah,
here. Yeah,
yeah.
body, bro.
Bruh, so how has the radio business been? I was talking to another radio guy, and I always wondering now because everything turning to streaming a lot.
Uh-huh.
Does a does the radio still get a lot of listeners and play? You guys still get a lot of people checking you guys out?
You know, absolutely, man. And with the streaming, it's I didn't get to really see this up until like a few months ago when I get, you know, somebody, one of the higher ups was like, wow, what are you guys doing over there? And I'm like, oh, nothing, just, you know, jamming music. and they showed me island our station's streams on the iHeartRadio app alone, and they were massive. And I know they're
Whoa.
big because I get a lot of messages from people around the world that are listening to our station and asking what this song is, or love listening to you guys from Australia every day,
Oh,
or
wow.
somebody tagging us in an Instagram video going in Germany on the Autobahn, filming our station on the iHeartRadio app, going, wow, you really can listen to 98.5 anywhere.
Wow,
Uh,
that's super cool.
so streaming numbers wise, it's awesome. It fluctuates, but on the higher end, close to 500,000 monthly listeners
Oh,
just to
wow.
95 on the iHeartRadio app, man. Um,
Bruh. So
it's
streaming's
something.
been a positive thing for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you would think people would go somewhere where there's no commercials or they can create their own playlist and do all of that kind of stuff. You can still do that on the iHeartRadio app, but they want to listen to this radio station. It could just be because we're the only unique station like that on the iHeartRadio app and that accessible. It's like, there could be, I don't know, a couple hundred hip hop stations or top 40
Yeah.
stations or country stations. But there's only one Island 98.5, and there's only one place that creates this kind of music, this
Yeah.
island reggae music. There's reggae music, there's a bunch of different genres of reggae music, but our style of doing it is just different, and it's right here on this station. So absolutely, man, streaming has been a big upside for us as well. Not only do we have our terrestrial radio listeners that still listen on the FM dial, but now a lot of people, you get in your car, the new cars nowadays, and they have the iHeartRadio app preset. It's like
Yeah.
already downloaded, and the quality is just so much cleaner and so much better. So before, where it's like, you used to be going through the polytunnel, singing your favorite song, and then the bugger cut out, but you
Yeah.
just keep the tempo until you come out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, now on the app, it's like crystal clear in HD. So it has absolutely been a plus for us. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but definitely for 98.5, it's been huge, man.
That's cool. So when they stream, it's like your live show then. Like you guys, the people listening in different countries and
Oh yeah,
states, they get the disc jockeys and the banter and the live liners that you guys do.
all of that stuff, man.
Oh, I mean, that could be kind of a selling point too, because a lot of local people that move want to hear their favorite local DJ or morning show guy, or just to hear pigeon or just local people talking. Like they could that probably could like relate to a lot, I guess. Even my podcast, a lot of out of town people listen to it. I'm saying, why are you guys listening to this? And they want to hear local people talking, and I guess
Right.
that vibe you guys give plus the music, it's just yeah, I guess that transcends all over the world. Plus it's accessible all over the world.
Yeah, it's huge, man. I mean, there's literally, it blows my mind when I see how much like these messages that come from all over the country. Like I had a guy hit us up on Facebook requesting 3 plus. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, man. Where are you listening from? And then he's like, oh, Meta Island. I love your music. And I'm thinking, I've never heard of Meta Island in the
Me
Pacific.
neither.
So I asked him, I said, oh, where's Meta Island at? He goes, it's in between Sicily and Italy. I just found your station and I love it. Listen every day. There was another guy that would call into the station and pick up the phone, yo, Island, hello. And he's like, hey, what's up, Big Ko? It's your boy Red. And he's a huge fan of the station and he listens from Kentucky, man. He's never been to Hawaii before, but he
That's
discovered us on
insane.
the iHeartRadio app. And he's like, people think I'm crazy around here, man. I listen to this island reggae stuff. And it trips me out, man, on how many people listen from all over the place.
That's cool.
Big fan base in Australia, of course, Las Vegas, a lot of
Oh
locals
yeah.
moved up there. I mean, right now we're promoting a Las Vegas concert because they
Oh, which
know
one is that?
people listen to Holo Holo Music Festival.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they came to us like, hey man, we want to do this with you guys, and it's just like we know there's a lot of people listening to us up there.
Wow, that's
You know,
super cool.
yeah. So it's really it blew my mind, man, when I was able to see the online numbers and where everybody's listening at. Like especially Australia. Like, let's say it's an Aloha Friday, and I'm like, oh, happy Aloha Friday, everybody. They'll be like, oh, it's Saturday over here, mate, but still yet Aloha Friday. It's like they're right. So
That's super cool.
the places that we reach and people that we touch, man, are pretty amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Radio, it's still alive, it's still breathing. Even if you're not listening on the FM dial, there's still people listening on the app. So
Oh, that's cool. And it broadens your your outreach because people in the mainland and different countries can't go on the FM dial to check you guys out. Now they can. What is your role? You're the program director.
yeah, so now I'm the basically I'm the program director, music director, afternoon, show. I got a couple hats over here, man. As radio evolves over the years, and the kind of, I would say, employees get a little less in the building, you take on a little more roles, but it kind of like broadens what you do too.
Wow, and you've been there for a while. So as a program director, you pick and choose what gets on air and what doesn't?
It's the whole sound of the station. So it's like it's even beyond music. Like, yes, I pick every song that gets played on the radio 24 hours a day. So if you're hearing one too much, blame me, okay? No, but yeah, it's I do that. Plus, it's the way the station sounds. It's like you got to create content. Um, what do I want, these what we call sweepers, the thing that plays in between songs, right? That says the station's name, and you got to write all of those. What do I want those to sound like? What type of imaging do I want put into those? Do I want to make this like a super loco moco one, or do I want it just clean to transition between songs? What promos am I going to write? What am I going to do at 5 o'clock? Is it going to be, a countdown? Or at 12 o'clock, I'm going to do the reggae cafe. Like, you create this clock and this structure for what you want on the radio station and what you think it should sound like. So you're basically like, all of these ideas that go on the station, they flow through you. And you really pay a lot of attention listening to your station, and you're like, oh, I don't like that. That was kind of annoying. I'm going to change it. Or I don't like that song playing right there. I'm gonna rearrange it to make it play here instead, to keep a better flow. Or I don't want too many slow songs playing in a row, so I'm gonna really pay attention to that and kind of make it a proper mix, of old songs and new songs. So there's really a lot that goes on in a good program director, somebody who actually pays attention to their station, and they're not just letting the computer set it and forget it kind of deal.
Oh,
There are those out there too,
yeah.
before you used to,
Lazy people.
yeah, man. And it's really easy to get complacent and get lazy in programming, especially if you're doing multiple stations.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, it's some work at the end of the day. It's going to take some time. So putting too much effort into any one of your stations, it's like sometimes you just kind of let the computer just throw everything in there, and then you just let it ride. But if
Oh,
you're really paying attention to really mix up, what you're doing, and you're really paying attention to, what artists are playing back to back, and the overall flow of your station, it's going to take a little while, but you put a little love into it. And when you're driving home listening to it, you're just like, yeah, oh yeah, that's good, all right, a little pat on the back.
well,
um
you must be doing something right if you're getting all that positive feedback and it's transcending throughout the world like that. You doing something right. That must make you proud. I mean, I'm kind of stoked for you to. I mean, stoked to hear that it's you that's doing all that.
it's good, man. I enjoy my job. Like I said before, and to other people, it's better than building rock walls in the hot sun.
Oh
I get
yeah.
to I get to play with music, man. I get to meet a lot of artists, and
Uh,
talk to them on a different kind of level. Um, some of these artists that we break out here in Hawaii, that may be from the mainland or whatever, when they're blowing up and they actually reach out to us and go, hey, I got these songs. I'm thinking about these on the album. Can you consult me on which ones you think would be best? Like, we do a lot of that too for some big name artists, man. So you'd
Oh,
be
that's super
surprised.
cool.
And then all of a sudden, when you break the song out here, and then next thing a couple months go by, and the other stations start picking it up, and then Outer Islands start picking it up. Well, you know where that started from.
You made him a hit.
It started from you, man. And then discovering songs is another thing too, because not everybody reaches out to you with music.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of just, or maybe they did in the past and it got buried that day because you had a bunch of submissions and, you kind of just pick something else. And so now you're in what we call like a slow period where, oh, not very many people are making music. It's kind of about time to start looking for some new stuff and freshen it up a little bit. So I'll go back and I'll go back on things and I'll look, what
Oh,
might have I missed, and then sometimes it's maybe the third, fourth, fifth, 20th pass over a song to where something catches me while I'm in the office and I'm like, yo, you know what? This song ain't that bad, man.
you're vibing it.
Yeah, there's something that caught me and I'm like, if I can start remembering the hook too, like right off the bat, it's an easy song to sing along with.
Yeah.
So if it's that easy for me, then it's going to be easy for listeners too. And there's one thing people like to do is be able to sing along with the song and know the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I don't,
you must get a lot of up and coming artists like, hey, check out my demo, that kind of thing.
a lot of them, man. Yeah, they all
Yeah.
come through, and some of them I'll play them right off the bat, and I'm like, yo, this is good. Like this has what it takes. I really feel like this one has potential. And then sometimes there's certain songs that I don't know. I just feel they work in a different. It's like what's going on in the world, right? Or
Mm.
what season are we in right now? What's the flow out there? What's going to be coming up in a couple of months where we can brand this song, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Valentine's is here, and then now there's this huge love song that we got on the radio that we've been working
Uh,
for the last couple of months. So there's been some big songs that I've introduced to the radio that have been out for a while, but I introduced them during like a certain time or a certain season, and they took off. Like the Finn Groova song "Overwhelmed" with Fiji. I think I was
mm.
sitting on that song for like 2 years, and I brought it out. I think around like a November time. There was another point where we were kind of like, oh man, we haven't heard nothing new from the Green in a while. Let's go back on one of their albums and see if we can find something off one of the albums. And that song that we decided to play was Chocolates and Roses. And
Oh,
that song took off. And then next thing you know, it's like, some months later, every radio station in town is playing it and it's on all the outer islands. Um,
that's
so
their
yes,
Hanaho
man.
song too now.
Yeah, man. Like for instance, just recently there was this Victor J. Seffo and Josh Wawa song that I brought to the radio. And the thing is huge. Every radio station is playing it right now. And it's in top 20 Shazams, out of
Oh
Honolulu
wow.
consistently. It's blowing up, man. And it blew up even more than what it was. And it was out 2 years before I started playing it.
Oh wow. So you pretty much can make or break. I mean, I hate to say it, but make or break a artist. Like you could get them out and exposed and get them pretty much noticed by everybody.
Humbly, yeah. I mean, I do a lot of data, I look at a lot of research. I can kind of see where I've taken that song and see
Yeah.
the reaction. I know if like, this song has been out for a while, and let's say I'm kind of keeping an eye on it, and I'm like, eventually I feel like I might want to bring this out, but I'm working this other song right now. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, okay, it's go time on this song. Let's go. Well, I have a starting point of where it was, and then I can see where it is and where it
Oh,
goes.
oh, so you're like constantly doing work with this stuff. Wow, you really take this stuff serious, huh?
Oh yeah, man, I really do. It's my job, and I love it. So, and I love finding the new hits, man. I love
Oh,
knowing that it's like the reason this song is being played on every station is because I took a chance with it, you know, and I,
Oh, that's super cool.
you know, I love
That's
getting a new artist and then going, oh man, I'm gonna work this song. And then, yeah, I hear it, I feel it. The lyrics, I guarantee everybody's gonna love it. Some, you know what, it's gonna blow up. And then I work that song. And then next thing you know, I start seeing that artist on people's Instagram videos, and you know, they start adding the
uh,
music, right? Or the golf carts driving past my house and they're bumping that song that I broke out, you know, that I pushed out there. And now it's like they might not know where they got it from. They don't know if they heard it on radio or they probably heard it from one of their uncles, but somebody
yeah.
heard it because we played it, you know?
Wow, that's pretty cool, and that's giving all these young and up and coming artists a platform and a way to get heard. Like that's basically what they need is people to hear them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And then that draws, you know, just getting it on the radio, and which is with as much listeners that we have, and is when we stay consistent with it like that, um, it draws people back to that artist and what they have. So let's say they heard it on the radio, they like that song, they Shazam it. Then they go and,
Yeah,
you know, download it on their playlist, and then they go and follow that artist on Spotify. Well, you see the exchange, right? It's like we
yeah,
somebody to you that would have never normally found you, and now they're your fan, and now it's growing your, you know, listenership too, it's growing your fan base and stuff. So it's definitely you know, a nice relationship that we have
yeah,
with the artists and stuff. And you know, hats off to these artists. I mean, they work around the clock on finding that one, and they really work hard in the studio and to build themselves. And you know, nowadays it's like it kind of sucks that that it's like everybody looks at your accolades, right? You know, how many followers
yeah.
you have,
Oh
how many,
yeah, yeah,
you know, it's like, and you guys like us was like, man, you have no more social media. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Get out there, we did it, bro. I mean, think
yeah.
about if we had video and we had all of this stuff going on with all the people you and I met back in the day, and
I'd
all
be
the
in prison for real. If everybody had videos from back in the day,
right,
I'd
right.
probably be in jail. No, no, no.
But man, I mean, like if I was doing all of this podcasting and video interviews and stuff back when I started radio, well,
Yeah,
goodness, man, I'm just thinking about all the cool artists I would have had, you know, but instead
yeah,
we just did it for the radio and did it live. Nobody
yeah.
recorded this stuff, you know? So
Yo,
it's like,
just out there and that's it.
that's it. It was, you had to be there for it and hear it at that moment, or that's it, you know? And
Yeah,
nowadays it's like, oh, well, post some video, it didn't happen. You know,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, it happened. It happened,
yeah.
you know?
So
But
I always ask this with radio people or people that are kind of in mainstream, like who was like the biggest artist that you ever got to meet, and like were you ever like, oh, bro, like fanboy now, starstruck kind, where it's like you got weird.
you know, man, that's kind of a tough one for me. There's just been so many, man. And I can't, I guess you got to just go back to how I was raised up. So my family was in the entertainment business, right,
Okay.
growing up. So my grandfather, my dad, my uncles, my cousins, you know, they all worked in the movies for IATSE, Local 665.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
my granddad was like one of the main dudes. You know, my dad started in with that union when he was like 18 or 19 years old. His first show was the OG Hawai'i 5-0. Um, you know, he's worked on things from Magnum PI to Flight of the Intruder, Tour, you know, all of these movies
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So as a kid, I would be on set, you know, with him.
Uh,
And, here's something I don't think I've ever said on video, but like one of these movies he was working when I was just born, I forget the name of it. It was called Endless Summer or something like that, that was being filmed, but it was one of Tia Carrera's first
oh,
movies.
okay, okay.
And so my dad didn't have a babysitter, so he brought me on the set as a baby, and he left me with the wardrobe girls, and they were watching him while he was working. And apparently, like Tia Carrera would go into wardrobe and always be playing with the little baby, you know, changing my diapers and stuff like that. And So I don't remember that, obviously, man. I was, too small for that. But it's just funny because some years later, when they were doing like a Hawaii 5 red carpet premiere, I went
Oh,
down there and Tia Carrera showed up. And I was like, hey, sis, this gonna sound really weird. You remember the first movie you did? And she was like, oh yeah. And I gotta go find the name for you. But yeah, I said, by any chance, you remember one little baby that was always with the wardrobe girls? And she was like, yeah, I do. And she looked at me like, no. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, this baby
Your
got a
big
lot,
core from one baby, huh?
this baby got a lot bigger. But
Yeah.
it was funny, man, because so I've always kind of been around that scene growing up.
Okay.
Uh
So it wasn't too crazy to be in the entertainment industry and meet like stars. It was kind of a normal thing.
Yeah, it wasn't, man. It just kind of being used to, like, kind of warmed up to that at an early age already. And then Manco Israel Kamakavivole, I used to go and be his chair carrier slash oxygen tank pusher slash, "Hey, boy, go grab those stickers." So we used to do a lot of traveling and going to shows with him from young time at
Oh,
Waikiki
that's nuts.
and Outer Islands. So I got some really cool stories, to tell about
Oh,
him. So
wow.
it was just kind of like a natural progression, man, over the years. So when I got into radio, and back then it was a hip hop station I was on. So, and radio still had some really good pool with artists back then. So when they came into town, it was like a thing to come to the station, man. Like you had to.
Oh,
So for every hip hop artist that used to come through, and then we had the Pro Bowl, so we'd have football players come through the radio station, and we'd be doing these long interviews and meet and greets, and I just kind of being around it so much, I come to know that these guys are regular people, you know. So a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of times, like I'll be around them, and I won't go, "Hey, let's take a picture," because when you're in these little circles and you're invited to be in these circles, the last thing they want to do is go and take pictures because they know they're going to get bombarded right when they
Oh,
get
yeah.
door. So a lot of times, a lot of experiences and a lot of people I've been around, I don't even have nothing to show for it, man. Like I didn't go
Eh,
and go, hey, let's take a selfie. It's just I enjoyed that experience of being there with them and just being able to chop it up and hold the vibe on their level. And then also knowing that, hey man, this guy is cool, like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
do some weird stuff. He's not like a super fan or something like that. So you get invited back a lot more, man.
That's
And
kind of cool. And
yeah,
I
it's really
mean,
cool.
how long have you been in radio?
God, this year is gonna be 23 years, man. I started um summer of 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's been a minute then.
I was 17 years old, man, when I got my
How'd you
first.
get connected?
Um, Let me see, what was I doing? Okay, so many years ago, and many pounds lighter, because I was doing some modeling for a little while. I never like say
Yeah, you.
never like say that. I was
But
doing
you get
some.
the smile, that's why. All
At
the
one
girls is
time, I used to have
marketable,
hair
huh?
on my head. Okay, I used to have hair on my head. I look kind of decent, and yeah, man, I used to take pictures and wear clothes and do some stuff like that. So,
Cream
um,
was man of the month.
yeah, hey, little Gucci Ferragamo,
Yo.
nothing major. But yeah, so I went. My wife pushed me. Now my wife, girlfriend at the time, pushed me to go for this competition because I was delivering boxes at one of my first jobs. I was like, I don't know, 16 years old, 15 or whatever, and I was working downtown Chinatown, and I was like the box push boy. Hey, take these clothes from this store to this store, and doing all this manual labor stuff. And then one day I'm going up 4th Street Mall, and this ladies they yelling, and you get all the crazies down there. So I just keep walking, man. I'm pushing like I don't know, a couple 100 pounds of boxes. I'm like, wow, it's this lady yelling back there, and she's like, wait, excuse me. And finally, I get to the truck and I start throwing this stuff in real quick because I like get out of here. And she runs up to me and she grabs me and she starts breathing hard. She's like, wait, I gotta talk to you. Wait. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I saw you the other week and I tried to chase you down, but you went and you disappeared. You got in a car and left. And she was basically, she was an agent for these guys, Two Couture uh
Okay.
modeling. It was this guy Eric and Takeo, who was a designer. And from what they told me, they actually discovered Jason Momoa.
Oh wow.
I think he was like slanging shirts on the side of the road in North Shore or something. So they kind of found him from what they were telling me and got him into it. So they invited me to be part of this modeling competition or whatever, and it was for the front cover of this magazine. And I was just like, oh man, it's not really my thing, you know. Like I'm kind of taking pictures for somebody already. It might be on conflict or whatever. I was just trying to get rid of her, but she begged me to go meet her at this place after work. So I went over there, and these guys seemed kind of serious, and they had all their designer stuff on the wall and all of this. And so I told them, ah, you know, all right, whatever. I'll show up for this modeling competition or whatever. And man, I was so nervous though. It's like I get there the morning of, and I'm like, you know, dry heaving in the car, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I don't want to do like kicking and screaming, you know. And my wife's like, just go inside, man. Just go, Jay. It'll be okay. And she basically got me to go in there. And as soon as I walk in there, I was like, ah, I got this, bro. So I did some ramp mod, whatever the thing was, I did some ramp modeling or whatever. And I ended up winning the competition. So it was me, myself, and the female that won was Pili Aloha Geisen. I don't know if that rings a bell, but
The
her
name
husband
sounds familiar.
her husband is Kalai Miller, Baywatch.
Oh, oh, okay, okay.
They do the sparking
Yeah, yeah.
race. Yeah. So me and Peely won the competition, and me and her end up on the front cover of this magazine called Hawaii Teens on the Go. And it
Oh, I
was in
gotta
the
go hunt that down.
uh, don't put a clip of that one in there, Jesus. But anyway, but that's okay. They're not even gonna recognize me anyway. But it was plastered up, bro. Like I don't know, a big 3 foot, 3x4 on every single 7-Eleven around the island. I couldn't pull into anywhere without seeing that magazine, man. And it was like all the malls, and it was everywhere, and it was like, oh no. So there was a couple jocks from the radio station that were there emceeing the competition. So after I won, they were like, "Hey, come on air, with us tomorrow, and then we'll like interview you about the competition or whatever and winning." So I was like, "Ah, well, okay, cool." So I rolled in there, and I ended up vibing with them, and I started kicking a freestyle on air, and I was like, yo, this is my thing, and they were like, hey, if you ever want a job, come back, do some interning or whatever. And
Oh,
then so I ended up, oh yeah, yeah, cool. But I didn't want to kind of like be a jock rider or anything. So I never went back. And then a couple months later, I got a call from my cousin Dara, who I found out was the production director at that station. And I was thinking,
oh,
oh, I wouldn't mind learning production like that. That's pretty cool. So he brought me back to go intern with him. And while I'm sitting in the lobby filling out my paperwork, I see the guys who did the interview with me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, he's back. You gonna come work with us?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, man. I'm gonna go intern with my cousin Dara." And they're like, "Nah, you don't want to do that, bro. You want to come be with us." So I ended up jumping on board with them as promotions, and the rest is history, man.
that's insane, bro. It's weird. Like I always like hearing these stories because it's always like a chance opportunity and like to see how it plays out. Like it's like, oh, if this didn't happen, how would my life have been? Like I had Auntie Brandy on this, and she told me how she figured out how to get on, and bro, it's like it's kind of like luck, but I guess it's like your destiny was put in place by God, and it just lined up that way. Because bro, what if that lady didn't chase you down and or you left or you're like, "Oh, get away
Yeah,
from me, you weird fucking lady," or
yeah.
something,
No,
you know what
it's
I mean?
serious, man. Yeah.
Like, that's insane, bro.
If I
That
didn't walk
wow.
in the door that morning, if my wife didn't push me in there and say, go, you got this. And I think at that time, I think I was I had to be 16 years old. So I was 16
Wow.
years old, man, and she got me to go through that door. And if I didn't go through that door, I wouldn't have met those guys. I wouldn't have got invited on their show, and I probably wouldn't be in radio today, man. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Think
That's
about
kind of
it.
a cool story, bro.
And it's right place, right time. Cause I was interning there for like 6 months and I'm like, bro, this sucks, man. I'm like, I mean, I really like it. Don't get me wrong. Like you start feeling all cool driving the station vehicle and people like shouting and throwing the shaka and giving out bumper stickers and stuff like that. Like that's a really cool part. You start feeling like a little celebrity.
Yeah, yeah,
um, but after a while, you're like, oh, well, I can make money too. And then it's radio, probably like other things, television and other. It's the right place, right time, man. You could be a good at that
yeah.
station, okay? And if somebody quits or somebody gets let go and they need somebody to fill in, they're gonna turn around and go, you get
That's
and then
insane.
next thing you know, you become an afternoon radio DJ or a night show radio DJ, and then you just kind of never leave. So
Yep, and yeah, it's cool, and like I've been around the industry because of our promotions, and right, you guys always have like that spark or like that it factor, but you guys always had the aloha to match it. It was always kind of a wow, these guys are super cool, and it just feels like friends, you know what I mean? And right, you've been doing this for such a long time, and I see the connection you have when you're in front of a crowd, when you do the concerts. And that's to me is kind of different than just a radio DJ or a disc jockey is when you're live in front of a crowd and you're hyping them up or you have that same charisma. I think that's what gets you to connect to your listeners or to the people listening to the radio. You know how they react when it's a live situation. And I know Hoppa loves having you at Mai Tais with him.
it's good fun, man. It's a whole nother energy, and I'd like to say that I've done my homework and it's all calculated. And it's like I know exactly what I'm gonna do when I get on stage, and I know exactly what I'm gonna say. But the fact of the matter is, I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do until I do it. I'll literally, some people when I'm standing side stage over there and I'm looking out at a crowd of, 6,500 people at the Waikiki Shell, and then once in a while I'll get that guy go, oh, so what are you gonna say? And I'll just look at him and I don't know. And then I grab the mic and then whatever comes out of my mouth, man. And
You ever messed up or what?
oh yeah, I mean, you can't be 100% all the time, right? So it's like, once in a while, you call a DJ by a different name or something like
Oh,
that, because it's hard to remember everybody too. So if you don't consistently work, or maybe there's a new guy that they flew in from the mainland that's on
oh
the show
yeah.
or something like that, or you're trying to, maybe a band wants a certain type of intro, right?
Oh yeah.
And in your head, after spending 10 minutes on stage, where all the West Side at? Where the East Side at?
Yeah.
I scream and doing all of this kind of stuff. And then you're like, damn, what the frick is that intro again, bro? Where this guy's from? And it's like,
What's the name of the band?
yeah, what's the name of the band? And then, like me, Johnny come lately, man. Like, some of these promoters will be panicking because
Oh
let's
yeah.
say the show starts at 5 o'clock, right? And then they'll be like, yeah, get here at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, well, nothing I'm gonna do there for an hour. So I'll
Yeah.
literally be that guy that pulls in there at 4:55 and they're calling me, where you at? I'm like, bro, you gotta escort me to the stage or driving in the gate right now. They'll be like meeting me with golf carts, bro, right? Driving me right to
Let's
the
go.
stage. And it's like go time. And I literally jump out of the car and I'll run up on stage, man. And then the band's already like started. And I'll grab the mic and I'll go to bust the introduction. And I'm like, shit, bro, what's these guys' names again? Like it's an opener. And bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've literally been grabbing the mic, welcoming everybody out, you know, big show going on, and then I'll lean back to like the bass player or something. Like, oh, yeah, what you guys call yourself again? Yeah, give it up for like I've done that.
Right, you ever got nervous or what? Like, oh, Brad, I'm gonna be in front of all these people.
You know, yeah, absolutely. Every time, bro. It doesn't
No
matter
shit.
how big or how small the crowd, if you don't feel a little bit of butterflies about something, you lost passion, man. You're not doing it right.
Oh,
I like to think every artist, everybody who has a passion about something, you never want to mess up, right? You always want it to be
yeah,
the best. So I think just that anticipation of thinking, you know, oh, I hope I do good tonight, or I hope this show goes well, or I hope I'm able to get the type of energy out of the crowd that makes this whole thing different, you know, that just brings the
yeah,
vibe. You never want to let anybody down. So I think just kind of anticipating that, you know, no matter if it's 50 or, you know, 5,000 or 50,000, it's always, you're going to have a little bit, just a little kick. And sometimes it's an exciting one. It's not like, oh, we're going to go throw up in a parking lot kind. Woo, yeah, like I'm about to get on this roller coaster, you know, and that's what it kind of feels like. But yeah, I think, man, you got to be just a little bit, you know, it's like
yeah.
any promotion as a promoter. It's like you put X amount of dollars out.
Oh
You,
yeah, I'm
you
always squeezing.
yeah, you don't know if ticket sales are good because out here in Hawaii, bro, everybody last minute
Oh,
Larry's
brah, tell me about
like no
it.
pre-sale ticket, nothing, bro. All you guys
Yo,
bought tickets on the freaking night of, you
we
know?
check the weather for the next day. Yo.
Yeah. So I
But
mean,
I guess that's what you do is you respect the moment that you're in and the opportunity. And I guess, yeah, you're right. It is a butterflies and if you care.
right. Yeah, you
But
gotta have
yeah,
a little bit. But it's always exciting. And once you get out there, you step out there on stage and bam, the spotlight goes on, you know, and then you look out and you say whatever you're gonna say to open it up, you know, and you get a little rah, little energy. You're just like, yeah, you know.
yeah.
And then if you have a DJ that's with you and you're able to work with them and their
Oh
music
yeah.
and you're able to work that crowd, you know, to the music and stuff, and to see that energy and to hear people singing almost louder than the music sometimes, it does something, man. It's a little adrenaline. It's a little like, you know, natural high, so to say, and to know that you were able to bring that type of energy to that show. Not only does it feel good as yourself that you were able to do that, you know, one man, microphone, DJ, music, 6,000 something people singing. Um,
Yeah.
but it just feels good at the end of the day, man. You know, music uplifts everybody, and to bring that type of energy, it definitely feels good.
That's true. And you actually like going out in front of the crowd. And I mean, because like you're the program director, you have all these titles, like that's more of a passionate kind of thing than I'm sure there's people under you that would want to try that kind of stuff out also.
I try and push them all the time, and Auntie Brandy, Shayla, let's go. Let's try to get on the big stage. You know, you know, some say they're not ready for it yet, but eventually, I'm like, you know, one day you just gotta come out there with me, man. Just feel that energy of the crowd. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
uh,
nuts. I remember throwing CDs out to the crowd from the Major Rager or something like that we were doing
yeah.
with Ray. And just standing in front of all those people was like, whoa, this is nuts.
Whoa.
But not, I didn't even talk or anything. I was just like throwing CDs, and it's like, wow, this is nuts.
It's a sea of people, man. And you know, that's why like so I joke around as some people who've never been on stage, and I'm like, yeah, you know, once you get out there, I said, especially at nighttime, once that spotlight turns on, you can't see past the first 20 rows anyway. You know, it's like they beam you at that spotlight from the spot rink, and it's just like literally, I get a hard time seeing anybody past the pool at the Waikiki Shell, you know.
Oh yeah.
So another one of the tricks, anybody, if you got to read stuff while you're on stage, put on some glasses That way you can look out at the crowd, and then you can look down with the glasses on and read
Oh,
whatever you gotta say and look like
oh,
you're not reading nothing, huh? So yeah, glasses helped out with the spotlight too. But
okay, that's a good trick of the trade.
yeah.
Like in your future, where do you see yourself, or what you're doing with radio? Like, what do you see happening in the future?
Um, I definitely would like to make sure that we're able to keep up with the times, because things are always changing, man. Things are always going to transition. There's always going to be the next big cool thing out there, or new cool way to listen to radio or listen to music in general. So as long as I can continue to just have this passion for music and continue to be in an area where I'm able to do what I'm doing now, and that's introduce new ears, to our music, our island reggae music. I mean, that's really where my passion's at. Nowadays, I notice it's a lot more online. For instance, people are going to view this podcast maybe on YouTube, and maybe go download it on Amazon or Spotify or wherever else you get your podcast from. And those people may not listen to radio. They may just go listen to podcasts. So
Yeah.
being able to kind of involve and just put yourself on other platforms where people are still able to discover you and learn what you do, I think that's going to be a plus for anybody in this business. Um, Visual on social media, not everybody likes to post on social media all the time. It's like I'm kind of one of those. It's like,
Yeah.
somebody told me one time, oh, you got to post more on social media of you at these concerts and being backstage. And I'm like, why? And they said, because your fans want to see what you're doing, and these people want to see what you're doing. I was like, tell them buy one ticket then. It's like, that's what I'm,
Yeah.
but I got to get out of that old way of thinking and just go, okay, here it is, bro. The times have changed. Maybe I got to start posting my interviews on video now. And I
Yeah.
was doing it for a little while on YouTube. I had a little bit of love. It was cool. So I'm gonna have to start that back up again, but just evolving, man, and just sticking with the
Yeah.
times right now, and
That's
stay
cool.
visual and just represent who you are and what you are, and hopefully we're all still doing this, and I'm able to retire from this one day. What have you guys
That's awesome. That would
been?
be super cool. Well, you look like you're having fun doing what you're doing, and I mean that's the pretty much the essence to life, right? Enjoying what you're doing for a living.
Yeah, and yeah, I can't say I don't, man. I love this job, bro. It's great. And if I can do even involve myself even more with maybe helping artists bridge their gaps to other places and stuff like that, who knows, man? It might be another line of work in there for me, with this.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, definitely it's just cool, man. I love it, dude. We meet so many different people, not only people but their management, the artist. And so I've made some connections and stuff already between artists, and they don't know that artist because they never performed with them or nothing. And I'm like, oh, I know that guy. Hey, here, let's link you guys up.
Oh, and next thing they have a collaborated song
Yeah,
together
yeah,
that's like killing
yeah.
it.
And I thought about that the other day too, and I was like, wow, I'm actually in a really good position in this line of work, because I've asked a lot. Like sometimes we're casually talking with artists, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know him, right?" And they're like, "Nah, man, never met him." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, here, man, I'll link you guys up." Or somebody's like, "Hey, man, I want to do a song with this artist. You got his contact?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, man. He's a homie." So I'm able to kind of
That's
put all of these connections together, and just kind of be a little link, which is really
that's
cool.
cool.
Networking is awesome in this line of work, bro. So
Yeah, and you have that aloha vibe, so it makes it easier to be approachable and to have people link with you. I guess that's what your vibe is always, right? Aloha, spreading aloha.
that's it, brother. Spread all over,
Yeah.
man. I guess I
Well,
diverted really far away from the question of who's the most famous person I ever met,
yeah, I
but
know.
there's been a
That's
lot
what
of,
happens, bro. We just talk story.
yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about some cool moments in radio, in the past, I had, I was doing my afternoon show on this hip hop station. I think it was 93.9. No, it was 93.9, Hot 93.9, after I-94. And I had Nicole Schwerzinger in
Okay.
here, Pussycat Dolls, and she was promoting her own project. And then at the same time, the Wu-Tang Clan showed up. So I was having so much fun with Nicole on air that I had the Wu-Tang Clan in the other studio looking at us through the glass. And I stayed on air with Nicole for like 45 minutes. And then Ghostface or somebody's like, hey man, hey bro, hey, let us just come on air with her, man. We can all just be on air together. You know, I'm like, no, just chill, man. Like, you know, I'll be right there.
I got this.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's just, it's cool stuff like that, man. Or uh I mean, what else? Going to 50 Cent's hotel in Kahala when he came out here.
Oh,
And they invited me to the hotel to go do an interview with him, and then ended up kicking it for like 2 hours over there,
oh,
talking
that's super
story.
cool.
Him, Lloyd Banks, Tony Ayo, and
Oh,
just digging in on the past about when they first started bootlegging songs and selling them out of a Dodge Caravan and stuff like
whoa.
that. And after you leave, you're like, wow, how many people get that kind of experience?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Who got to do that? And
Exactly.
a lot of those, and it's just really cool, man. So there's been a lot of really cool, famous people that I got to meet over the time. I'm sure you met your fair share of them too.
Yeah, yeah. It's been cool, and like I was telling Hoppa like a few times was we're not normal people. We don't live normal lifestyles, and the amount of experiences we had versus what average 9 to 5 person has and all that is not going to be the same. We're different, and it's a different lifestyle, and it makes you appreciate the experiences you have because it's not normal. We're not normal.
Not at all, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know about you, but I can't go clock into somewhere at a certain time every day and have to stay
Yeah.
there X amount of time. It's like I
Yeah.
like to be fluid. It's like if I could do 4 days, 4 hours today, or 12 hours, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna do however I want, whatever I gotta do to get this job done, and that's just us, man. That's us.
Yeah. One thing I did want to talk about, which kind of not got me in the fields a little bit, was Hoppa's If Can, and we all got to like cruise and be away from the industry and hang out and just be ourselves. But you got to play volleyball with us, and it was fun because you're like the big dude and like you're like the middle blocker all day. But what got me in my fields was I looked to my left and Ronnie's son is playing with us. I look to my right, my daughter's playing with us. And you're playing and Hoppa, and I'm just thinking, wow, the amount of people and experiences and everything we ever done together or how long we knew each other, and I'm experiencing the same fun with my daughter and Ronnie's son, and it's just it. I had to stop I had a picture, and I'm standing in between Ronnie's son and my daughter, and I was like, whoa, this is
That's
kind of
wild.
weird, bro. Yeah, and bro, that day was one of the funnest days I had in a long time, and the people that were there and the just that vibe was so much fun, and yeah, I appreciated you for coming on the court, and it was just everybody was just being little kids again, and for me that's huge.
Yeah, that was fun. Honestly, like afterwards, I remember when I left and I texted the boys, I was like, wow, man, I had so much fun today. Like I don't get to do that kind of stuff. And it's like every time somebody's playing sports, I'm like, nah, bro, I like twist one knee or an ankle or
Yeah,
something. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurting though, and I didn't even
oh
jump that
bro,
day.
the next day, bro, I felt like I did legs.
Yeah. But no, it's cool. Like, and to see that family vibe, man. It's like I don't know about you, but I still feel incredibly young.
Oh yeah, me
It's like
too.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in my early 20s. So, when somebody calls you uncle or that, you're like, bro, how old are you?
What? Yeah. What do you mean, uncle? Yeah.
Uncle. It's like, bro, if I'm drinking with you, don't call me uncle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's I
Been
remember the
hearing
first
that a
time.
lot too recently. Fucking guys at
Yeah,
the gym. Uncle, you powered the weights. Wait. What do you call me? Yeah.
easy tagger. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you see like your daughter's classmates or something start showing up to the club, or my
Oh,
own
bro.
daughter showed up to the club, and I'm just like, hey, how you got in here? Dad, I'm 21. I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. Like
That's not,
at that point, yes, call me uncle already then,
yeah.
you know, like bring it on. But yeah, to have our families there like that and to see it's like, you know, I still feel like a kid like you and Ronnie, and then we got our kids there too.
Yeah, it's a
You're lucky I
trip,
didn't bring
dude.
my kids though, man. We would have been a whole team on ourselves. They're all center blockers.
All squatted up, yeah. But
Yeah.
what was cool was right before I jumped on, I was telling my daughter, "Oh, I'm gonna record today." She always wants to know, "Oh, who are you recording with?" And I said, "Big Koa," and she said, "Oh, the guy from the beach park." And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh yeah, he is cool. He's funny," and just that she remembered, it was like, oh, that was kind of it made that kind of stuff. I really appreciate more now because of my daughter, but it was nice to know that she already knew who you were just from that. Just say, "Oh, Big Koi," and she's like, "Oh, I remember him." Like
Yeah,
it's
you
a
sure
trip,
she didn't
bro.
say, "Oh, Big Quad, that was the guy that was blocking everybody and wasn't
Oh
jumping
yeah,
down"?
hey, works, bro.
Yeah,
He was on my team, so I never kill.
perfect, man. We gotta go do that again though. Like
Yeah,
honestly, I was
for
talking with
sure,
Hoppa, camping, bro. We gotta go camping
oh,
this year. He
bro.
said he's been bringing that up to you for some years now.
Bro, we've been camping. He just don't show up all the time.
Oh, okay, all right.
He
That's the
comes
real
once in a while.
story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came to maybe like two. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny,
I got,
man.
actually got him a tent for one of his birthday presents.
That he never used then.
He used it once.
Oh,
And I
gotcha.
think we set it up for him. I could be wrong.
Probably left him then.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But I appreciate you for coming on my show. And I know you're busy with all your stuff. And you're somebody I wanted to have on for a long time. And I always appreciated your work and your Aloha for Artist Groove Network and everything we've ever done together. And it's cool to see how your career just blossomed and how successful the radio station you're at is now. And I know everyone appreciates you. Anybody I ever hear anything about you, they're very appreciative, and they always have a lot of respect and always something good to say, and that just shines through you. And yeah, it's cool to be your friend and to know people like you. You know what I mean?
Oh man, dude, I'm glad the light's low in here because I'm blushing a little bit, bro. I really appreciate that, man. Seriously humbled, bro. I've known you for many years, man. Even in the early stages of my radio career, back when I
Yeah.
was trying to make a name for myself in the clubs and stuff like that. And I've always seen you guys and your smile on your face and the boys around. So mutual respect, man. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Right on, man. And social media, where can people find you?
I keep it simple, so I don't have numbers and underscores and dashes and all of this stuff. So at Big Koa, BIGKOA, Facebook, Instagram. I started a Twitch, TikTok, whatever. I'm not really,
We're not doing dances and stuff,
not
huh?
doing the dances, but I don't know. Maybe one day. Like I said, we got to transition to keep up with times, but not yet. I'm not doing the dances yet. So yeah, over there. Also on YouTube at Big Koa, BIGKOA. Keep it simple. Gonna start posting some more content on there too, and getting these interviews up and
All
stuff
right
like
on.
that. So otherwise, you can find me Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 6 p.m. on Island 98.5, and Saturdays from 10 to 4. So always
Gee.
here, even
Yeah.
holiday.
Just gotta rent one room over there.
Yeah, well, that's what my office is for. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do
Crash
the
out
interview in
after.
there, but look like my bedroom, man.
People gonna know.
They're gonna know already. Oh, Court's crashing in there, bro. I was like
Yeah.
caught in the background, that guy.
Right on, man. And for us, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube at Above the Bridge Podcast. Our website is atvpod.com, and my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Well, I gotta catch you guys on Mai Tai soon. Hoppa, I always go, but like it's the nights that you're not there. Sometimes I'll see Cookies and Dimes Chris, and yeah, it's been fun. But those Sundays, bro, when Niners play early, and I've been Mai Tais all night.
It's rough, my boy.
Ooh, yup.
It's
It's all
rough.
about the liquid IV.
Yeah, that's for sure, man.
Right on. Well, I hope you hit all your fitness and wellness goals for this year, and Bruh, you should post that. That could inspire a lot of people. And bruh, everybody knows you as Koa, Big Koa, so you come shredded. You'll be inspiring a lot of people.
I thought about posting it, but then I'm like, oh, I don't want to brag today that I'm 267 and then tomorrow I'll gain them all back. You know what I mean? So I just
But then
kind
you
of,
don't post that stuff.
yeah, man, much love. Hey, it's a new year, man. New us. Let's do some fitness stuff. Let's stay young. Let's stay healthy so we can continue to do this and what we do for another 20, 30, 40 years, man.
Yo, well, I appreciate you, man. And yeah, I hope to see you soon.
Sounds good, Dad. Thank you, brother.
All right, shakas for the cameras.
Boopski, 2 shakas and a hazit and aloha.
And we out. Aloha. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Later.
Boom, boom.